She served food with love, but that same food slowly carried death one by one. No one screamed. No one suspected. And for 14 long years, almost no one questioned her. This is the chilling true story of a woman who lived deep inside a family, not as an outsider, but as the most trusted member of all. Her name was Jolly Joseph, also known as Jolly Amma Joseph. She resided in the quiet, green village of Kudathai in Kozhikode district, Kerala, a peaceful place where mornings began with the aroma of strong tea and evening prayers, and families gathered around simple home-cooked meals. The Thomas family home stood unassuming, surrounded by the typical rhythms of rural life: church bells, community gatherings, and the steady flow of daily chores. Jolly appeared every bit the ideal daughter-in-law. She smiled warmly, spoke politely, and took care of the household with dedication. She was active in the local church, known to neighbors as approachable and helpful. If you passed her on the street or saw her at a family function, you would feel nothing but comfort. She projected stability, piety, and care. And that was the most terrifying part, because sometimes danger doesn't arrive with warnings or violence. It arrives wearing the face of love. It sits at your dinner table. It serves you food with her own hands. It comforts you in your grief. In August 2002, the first shadow fell over the family. Anama Thomas, Jolly's 57-year-old mother-in-law, returned from an evening walk and drank a glass of water or, according to some accounts, mutton soup prepared at home. She suddenly collapsed. Doctors attributed it to a heart attack. The family mourned deeply. There were tears, prayers at the church, and quiet acceptance. No one raised serious doubts. After all, heart issues were common. Life had to go on. Jolly was there throughout, consoling, helping with arrangements, standing strong beside her grieving husband Roy and the rest of the family. 6 years later, in August 2008, tragedy struck again. Tom Thomas, Anama's husband and Jolly's 66-year-old father-in-law, collapsed suddenly after a meal. Once more, the cause was ruled natural, likely cardiac arrest. The pattern was beginning, but it remained invisible. Deaths spaced years apart felt like unfortunate coincidences, not a calculated plan. Jolly continued to play her role flawlessly. She handled household matters, offered support, and maintained the image of a devoted family member. Some reports suggest she even used a forged will around this time to start gaining control over family property and assets. The years rolled on. The family tried to rebuild. Then, on September 30th, 2011, the third blow landed. Roy Thomas, Jolly's own husband, aged 40, was found unconscious in the bathroom of their home. He had eaten dinner, rice with Bengal gram, kadala, curry, and reportedly consumed water or a snack. He died shortly after. Initial reports mentioned possible suicide or heart-related issues. Some whispered about marital stress or other personal matters, but no formal suspicion fell on Jolly. She cried bitterly, appearing devastated. She was now a widow with 2 young sons, and the community rallied around her. Behind the tears and the composed exterior, something far colder was at work. Roy's uncle, Matthew Manjadil, also referred to as Matthew Manchadile or Manjadil, aged 68, had been vocal. He had openly questioned the circumstances of Roy's sudden death and pushed for a proper post-mortem. That stance made him a problem. In 2014, Matthew too collapsed and died after consuming an alcoholic drink or something served to him. Again, it was attributed to natural causes. The deaths were scattered across more than a decade. The slow pace, combined with Jolly's helpful demeanor, kept suspicion at bay. The final, most heartbreaking chapters came in quick succession for one branch of the extended family. In February 2014, Alfine Shaju, an innocent 2-year-old girl, choked or collapsed after eating a piece of bread or food allegedly given to her. She died tragically young. Her mother, Seeli Shaju, also spelled Silly or Silly Sebastian/Zacharias, aged 41, collapsed and died in May 2016 under mysterious circumstances, reportedly after drinking water or consuming something at home. 6 lives in total. Anama Thomas, 57-year-old. Tom Thomas, 60, 6-year-old. Roy Thomas, 40. Matthew Manjadal, 68. Alfine Shaju, 2, and Seely Shaju, 41. All connected to the same family circle. All after consuming food, drinks, soup, curry, water, or snacks prepared or served in the household. Yet for years, they were treated as isolated tragedies, heart attacks, illness, accidents, or fate. Jolly remained in the picture. In 2017, she married Shahja Zachariah, or Shahja Zacharias, the widower whose wife Seely and daughter Alfine had died. She moved forward with life, still presenting herself as caring and normal. She had allegedly told people she wished for a husband like Shahju. To outsiders, it looked like a family finding solace after loss. But one man could no longer ignore the heavy silence. Rojo Thomas, Roy's brother and Tom's son, grew increasingly suspicious. The sheer number of deaths in such a short family circle felt wrong. The pattern, convenient timing, property angles, and unanswered questions gnawed at him. He refused to accept the official narratives. In 2019, Rojo's persistent complaints finally prompted the police to act. A special investigation team, SIT, was formed. They reopened the old cases. Bodies were exhumed from church burial grounds in October 2019. Forensic experts from the Kerala Police and Central Labs examined the remains. What they discovered shattered the illusion of natural deaths. Cyanide, a highly toxic poison, was detected in several of the exhumed bodies. Cyanide acts rapidly, causing sudden collapse, respiratory failure, and death that can mimic heart attacks if not specifically tested for. In decomposed remains after many years, traces can be challenging to find, but enough evidence emerged to change everything. Jolly Joseph was arrested on October 5, 2019. She was 47 at the time. During interrogation, she allegedly confessed to all 6 murders. Police said she obtained the cyanide through accomplices, a friend named M.S. Matthew, who allegedly procured it claiming it was for killing stray dogs, and a goldsmith Praji Kumar who supplied the substance. Another person was linked to forging documents. The primary motive, according to police and the prosecution, was control over the family's valuable property and assets in Kadithai. Some deaths also removed obstacles. People who questioned her actions, stood in the way of her desires, or whose elimination allowed her to get closer to Shahju. Reports mentioned additional layers, including personal relationships and a double life where she allegedly claimed to work as a lecturer at NIT Kozhikode, a claim later found to be fabricated. The case exploded into national and international headlines. It was dubbed the Kadithai cyanide killings. The sheer patience, spreading murders over 14 years, and the perfect mask of normalcy shocked people. Here was a woman who allegedly poisoned family members with cyanide mixed into everyday food like soup, curry, bread, water, or drinks, all while living among them, praying with them, and comforting survivors. How could someone maintain such composure? How could she serve meals knowing death was in the plate? How could she cry at funerals she herself had orchestrated? The revelations raised profound questions about trust. Neighbors described Jolly as chatty, friendly, and ordinary. She blended seamlessly into village life. No dramatic red flags. No obvious malice. Just quiet, calculated patience. The Netflix documentary Curry and Cyanide, The Jolly Joseph Case, released in December 2023, brought the story to a global audience, exploring the psychological and social aspects through interviews and reconstructions. It highlighted how the banality of the setting, ordinary meals in a Kerala home, made the horror even more disturbing. As of 2026, Jolly Joseph remains in judicial custody in Kozhikode. She is facing trial for the alleged murders before the additional district court. The trial has seen progress, with numerous prosecution witnesses examined, forensic testimony, including confirmation of cyanide in Roy Thomas's remains, and some witnesses turning hostile. Jolly has reportedly attempted legal maneuvers, including pleas related to the case, and even a divorce granted to Shaju. She has denied or challenged aspects in court, but the prosecution continues to build its case on confessions, forensic evidence, and circumstantial links. Accomplices were also arrested, and the cases involved charges of homicide, conspiracy, and document forgery. This is not merely a story of poison in food. It is a story about the terrifying power of misplaced trust. It is about how silence and normalcy can conceal the darkest intentions. It is about Patience, a killer who didn't need guns, knives, or screams. She needed only time, opportunity, and the family's unquestioning faith in her. The real horror lies in the ordinary moments, a shared meal, a comforting smile, a helping hand in grief. Those are the moments when no one suspects. Those are the moments when questions are never asked. After the truth surfaced, the quiet house in Toefl changed forever. Old memories turned haunting. Family photographs carried new weight. Every past kindness was re-examined under the shadow of doubt. 6 lives ended quietly, without loud fights, without dramatic escapes, without immediate justice. A mother-in-law, a father-in-law, a husband, an uncle, a 2-year-old child, and a young mother. All gone because someone close decided their existence was inconvenient. The case reminds us that the most dangerous threats often don't come from strangers in the dark. They come from inside the home. From the person you eat with, pray with, trust completely. Sometimes danger wears a soft smile and serves you with care. And by the time the questions finally rise, it is often too late. The silence that once protected the killer now echoes with unanswered what-ifs. What if someone had demanded a post-mortem earlier? What if the pattern had been connected sooner? What if trust had been balanced with vigilance? Some answers never fully arrive. They linger in the quiet village air, in the empty chairs at family dinners, and in the minds of those left behind. This is the true story of Jolly Joseph and the Toefl cyanide killings, a tale of patience, poison, and the deadly cost of unquestioned trust.